So I'm looking at the diesel heater install. I'm kind of just figuring out where everything's going to go. The heater's going to go in here, and then the fuel tank's just going to sit under the passenger seat. I just want to look at building a small frame to hold the tank in. There's some holes in the sliders here. I'm thinking I can just place a kind of bar across the back there. So I've just screwed this bit of timber to the underside of this passenger seat so that the fuel tank can be strapped in. What I'm going to do is now just build a small little frame off this. So essentially come back around like that, and then it can all be strapped in nicely. I have built the frame for the diesel tank, so that will sit in there. I'll have some strapping across like that, happy with that, maybe a little board in front there. Here's the diesel heater, so this is going to sit in this way, about there. And then the out pipe that's blowing hot air, I'm going to position here again, because I think it was a really good spot. I just need to be careful that I don't go through the double layer, because that was really difficult to drill through. So I'm going to put it about here, I think. So today I'm going to start to install the diesel heater in the same place that I did in my last van. Created this cavity, the vent pipe will come here, up through, and then there'll be a little grommet there, and the diesel heater will be mounted in that way. So what I'm going to do is just cut down the plate. Basically got this mounting plate which goes in. I'm going to cut that down to a skinnier width, and then that will get mounted onto the bottom of the heater there. And then all the stuff can kind of drop through. I'll draw the holes to drill through the metal. Got this kind of test fitted in now, loosely bolted it in on the underside with the plate. I'm going to just test fit the vent here, the hot air out vent, and then I've done a hole for the fuel line as well. As I said, test fit this ducting here to make sure that's fine, because it's quite a tight bend. Should be okay though. I'm going to silicone the plate on tonight, leave that to dry overnight, and then it'll be ready tomorrow to properly put in place. Place the heater in now and attach the hot air out vent pipe, and just kind of fitted this grommet on, which will then have that vent on top of there as well. Just going to secure the actual heater into place with these nuts here underneath, which mount from the spikes on the heater into the plate. So the plate's all sealed up now, it's dried overnight, and then what I'll do is I'll attach the exhaust and air intake pipes underneath. So as you can see with the exhaust pipe, I've got this small bracket and the silencer here. So obviously that will sit on there. This bracket would mean at this current setting of height it's at, would mean it's going to drip quite low. So I'm going to cut that bracket down so it's just a bit smaller, and then it can just kind of sit there. I've got the exhaust pipe fitted. I'm not entirely happy with this Jubilee clip. It's tight and on, but it's not like super tight, so I'm just going to get a different Jubilee clip for there. But it's all good. Routed it, bolted it on there, and obviously secured it there. Then exhaust here to the silencer and just brushed it onto there. Got both of the ducts on now. I'm just going to add the fuel line. So run the fuel line from that little spout coming down and the hole in the top right of the screen that you can see, and then that will go into the van. Got everything done for the diesel heater. Now what I'm going to do is do a little test run. So I'm just going to fill this up with diesel. I've got the electric controller here and the remote controller. Not got it plugged in exactly where I'm going to have it eventually, but it's just all plugged in and ready to go. So yeah, let's do a test run. I'm having some problems with the diesel heater actually getting power. Really can't see that very well. So I've got the power on now. What it was, I had an earth down here. It just wasn't a good quality enough earth. So as you can see, it's kind of all a bit messy. I've set up a temporary earth just into the negative on the battery. That won't be a permanent thing. I'm going to tidy this all up a little bit now, and then test it, and then make sure it all works fine. The actual heater, put some fuel in there, and then once I know it all works fine, I can redo a proper, more solid earth connection. So as you can see and probably hear, I'm just priming the pump. You can hear it clicking down there, so that pulls the fuel through from the tank into the filter and then into the pump and eventually into the heater. So you have to just do this for a good bit of time just to get the fuel all through the system and make that filter kind of fill up. I finally see fuel coming in to this pipe, which means the fuel filter is full, which means it will go into the pump, which means it will go into the pump now, and then into that other fuel line there, which is currently just using the residual what comes in the pump. But you can see the air gap's getting a lot smaller, and it's actually starting to fill up with fuel now. So I think if I hold that down, hear it ignite. Actually igniting here from memory. Just heard it ignite, so hopefully there's enough fuel in the system. So you can hear it bellowing now, and a bit of smoke coming out of the exhaust. It's all working fine now. You can probably hear it as well. I'm getting hot air out of here. Really buzzing with it. It's much quieter than my last one. Obviously that'll all be closed away. I'll fit a new earth there. That's exhausting pretty sound underneath. So all I'll look to do now is tidy up the earth, tidy up all the electrical wires, mount this somewhere on here, and we'll be good to go. That's the diesel heater install done. As you can hear, it's blowing hot air now. The next episode will probably be the last one in the series for kind of building things, where I'm just finishing off little bits, letting the floor in and tidying up all of these kind of things.